We've got a major update straight from ESPN's Sports Center, where the Knicks continue to make waves as they keep their sights set on a couple of remaining moves in free agency. While most of the roster is already locked in for next season, there's still one open roster spot available, and New York seems to be using this time very strategically. According to the latest reporting, the Knicks are actively monitoring two veteran guards they believe could provide critical depth at a low cost. The conversation on Sports Center today specifically highlighted two key names, Malcolm Brogden and Landry Shamet. This aligns with earlier signals we've been getting from insiders across the league. New York is looking to fill that final slot with a backcourt piece who brings experience, shooting, and composure off the bench. Let's break it down further. On today's segment, it was made clear that New York currently has just 12 players under standard NBA contracts, meaning they are obligated to add at least one more. According to ESPN's Zach Lowe, the front office is laser-focused on players who can bring added stability to the second unit, especially at the guard position. Lowe named Brogden and Shamet as two options who not only fit the profile, but who are also seen as attainable on a veteran minimum deal. That's especially important given New York's cap situation. And here's the thing, if the Knicks are looking for a steady hand to anchor the bench while Jalen Brunson rests, then Malcolm Brogden makes all the sense in the world. He's a high IQ floor general, capable of managing the offense, making smart reads, hitting big shots, and bringing solid defensive energy. Brogden is a former sixth man of the year, and if healthy, he offers immediate impact at both ends of the court. The concern, however, lies in his availability. Injuries have derailed stretches of his recent season, and that creates obvious risk. But when you're talking about adding him on a minimum contract to be your backup guard, that's not just a solid move, it could be a steal. Think about what that would do to the Knicks bench. A second unit featuring Malcolm Brogden and Jordan Clarkson in the backcourt? That's a nightmare for opposing second unit. Two veteran scorers, both able to handle the ball, both able to get hot quickly, both capable of closing games in a pinch. That's the kind of veteran presence and scoring punch that separates contenders from pretenders. And again, Brogden wouldn't need to carry a full-time load. He'd be asked to stabilize the floor for 18 to 22 minutes per night, keep the offense flowing, and hold the line until the starters return. But Brogden isn't the only name making noise. Landry Shamet is another target the Knicks are keeping tabs on. His appeal isn't just tied to his skill set, but also to his familiarity with many of the players already on the roster. As was mentioned on Sports Center, chemistry matters, especially for teams with deep playoff ambition. You can't fabricate chemistry. You can't trade for it. It comes from reps, trust, and experience. And Shamet already has that with several members of this current Knicks squad. When you look at Shamet's skill set, you see exactly what teams want in a modern-day rotational guard. He moves well without the ball. He spaces the floor. And most importantly, he knocks down the three at a reliable clip. He's not a volume scorer, but he doesn't need to be. His value is in the way he fits into a system, stretching defenses, creating room for slashers like Brunson and Bridges, and understanding where to be and when to be there. That's not something you can teach overnight. And that brings us to the wild card in all of this, Ben Simmons. As noted during today's coverage, the Knicks, like several other teams, are awaiting a final decision from Simmons before making their final free agency push. While his market has been quiet, there have been strong indications that Simmons is leaning towards signing with the Boston Celtics. If that happens, and signs are pointing in that direction, it could open the door for New York to act swiftly and lock in either Brogden or Shamet. And if Simmons does, in fact, land in Boston, that's when the Knicks will likely shift gears and solidify their bench with one of the two veteran guards they've been targeting all along. Between the two, if you ask insiders which player best fits New York's current need, it's probably Brogden. But availability and long-term durability will be major factors in the final decision. What we do know is that the Knicks are being patient, strategic, and methodical. They've built an impressive core. Their starting unit is one of the strongest in the East. And now, They're just looking for that last piece to round out a championship-caliber rotation. If they can land a proven veteran to come off the bench, someone who can keep the offense moving and defend without fouling, then this team might just have the depth to go the distance. This was just the first half of what was reported. Coming up next, we'll take a look at how these possible additions could change the overall rotation and whether signing someone like Simmons, despite all the questions, might actually be worth the risk for a franchise that's ready to win now. And let's talk more about Malcolm Brogden, because this move might be bigger than people realize. Sure, there's concern about his injury history, and that's totally valid, but you have to consider the context. If he comes to New York, he's not being asked to start or carry a major load. He'd be backing up Jalen Brunson, playing limited minutes off the bench. That significantly reduces the physical demand and minimizes the risk of re-injury. Now, here's the real kicker. The Knicks are targeting him on a veteran minimum deal. Let that sink in. A former sixth man of the year, a proven floor general, and one of the smartest guards in the game, available at the vet minimum? That's not just a good move. That's a robbery in broad daylight. If Leon Rose and this front office can pull it off, it could easily go down as one of the biggest steals of free agency. Seriously, if we're grading New York's offseason right now, they're sitting around a solid B, re-signing key guys, making smart additions like Jordan Clarkson, and maintaining flexibility. But if they land Brogden on that kind of bargain deal, that B instantly jumps to an A+. That's how impactful the move would be. And you know what? If there's one executive in the NBA who thrives when people say, "That can't be done," it's Leon Rose. Time and again, he's proved that he doesn't operate based on public perception or outside pressure. This Knicks front office moves quietly, efficiently, and strategically. And every time they make a move, it's not for headlines, it's to make the team better, both right now and for the future. Now look, that doesn't mean every decision is perfect. I've had my share of doubts too, like the rumored interest in Ben Simmons. That's a move I personally wouldn't touch. The upside is tempting, sure, but the risk, the distraction, the uncertainty, it's just too much. Still, it's clear from the intel we're getting that New York is waiting to see where Simmons decides to go before making their final roster move. And speaking of that final move, ESPN's Zach Lowe made it very clear earlier this week. Two names remain front and center on New York's radar: Landry Shamet and Malcolm Brogden. Those are the two guards this front office has been quietly evaluating as the final piece to round out the roster. Now, I know some fans were holding out hope for Russell Westbrook, and I get it. The energy, the fire, the leadership. But if we're being real here, all signs now point to him signing with the Sacramento Kings. According to the latest report we saw on the show, Sacramento has been actively clearing roster space, and you don't do that unless something's close to done. So you can probably cross Westbrook's name off the Knicks board, which brings us back to the current short list: Ben Simmons, Landry Shamet, and Malcolm Brogden. And let me be crystal clear. Out of those three, Brogden is the guy. He checks every box New York is looking for. Smart, steady, playoff-tested, and able to fit seamlessly into a bench role without disrupting the locker room dynamic. And again, with limited minutes and no pressure to carry the offense, his health becomes far less of a concern. At the vet minimum, there is no bigger steal available in this year's free agency class. Just imagine Brogden, Clarkson, and Precious Achiuwa anchoring your second unit. That's a playoff-ready bench. That's a rotation that can actually hold or extend leads, something this team struggled with last season when Brunson and the starters sat. And in a deep Eastern Conference, depth will be everything. So, Knicks fans, what do you think? Between Landry Shamet and Malcolm Brogden, who would you rather see New York add with that final roster spot? Do you think Brogden is worth the risk? Or would you rather take the chemistry and floor spacing Shamet bring? Let us know your thoughts. Hit the comment section below, because at the end of the day, this team is being built piece by piece, and your voice matters. That's going to wrap things up for this segment. If you enjoyed the update and want more Knicks coverage like this, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss a beat. Until next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, your families, and, as always, go Knicks!